Hello and welcome back to our channel. Today we will be diving into the highly debated topic of the military capabilities of the United States and China. With tensions rising between these two global superpowers, it is crucial to understand how they stack up against each other in terms of military strength. So grab a seat, buckle up, and let's get started. The United States and China are undeniably two of the most powerful countries in the world, with formidable military forces at their disposal. The US boasts the most advanced and technologically superior military in the world, with a long history of military dominance. On the other hand, China has been rapidly modernizing and expanding its military capabilities in recent years, seeking to assert its dominance in the Asia-Pacific region and beyond. Let's first take a look at the size of the military forces of both countries. The United States has the largest military in the world, with over 1.3 million active duty troops and over 800,000 reserve forces. In comparison, China has by far the largest military in the world, with 2.8 million soldiers, sailors, and airmen, double the number of the United States. The United States ranks second. The only other countries with more than 1 million active duty troops are China's neighbors, Russia, India, and North Korea. Yet China's military in the 1980s was stronger of 1 million men before the leaders of the People's Republic of China recognized it. Its size actually went against their goal of developing a modern military force. The approximate measurement is deceptive. 2 million Chinese soldiers serve in the ground forces, where their primary responsibilities are ensuring internal order and protecting borders, not projecting power. When it comes to technology and equipment, the United States is the clear leader. The US military has the most advanced weaponry and technology in the world, with a fleet of cutting-edge aircraft, tanks, ships, and missiles. The US also spends more on defense than any other country, allowing it to constantly upgrade and modernize its military arsenal. China, on the other hand, has been rapidly closing the gap with the United States in terms of technology. The Chinese military has been investing heavily in developing advanced weaponry, including stealth fighters, aircraft carriers, and anti-ship missiles. While China may not yet be on par with the US in terms of technology, it is quickly catching up and poses a serious threat to US military dominance in the Asia-Pacific region. One area where the US has a significant advantage over China is in naval power. The US Navy is the largest and most powerful navy in the world, with a formidable fleet of aircraft carriers, submarines, and destroyers. The US has 11 aircraft carriers, compared to China's 2, and has a total of 293 battle force ships, compared to China's 355. While China may have more ships overall, the quality and capabilities of the US Navy far surpass those of the Chinese Navy. The US Navy's aircraft carriers are unmatched in terms of size and capability, with the ability to project power across the globe. In a potential military conflict between the US and China, the US Navy would likely play a crucial role in securing victory for the United States. The United States enjoys overwhelming advantages over China. The United States surpasses China in gross domestic product, GDP, technology, and military spending. China's GDP represents 15% of global GDP, compared to 24% of the United States' GDP. 4. The United States maintains a technological lead in key areas such as command, control, communications, computing, intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance, C4ISR, and air, surface and underwater weapon systems. The United States has spent $19 trillion on its military since the end of the Cold War. This spending is $16 trillion higher than China's and almost as high as the rest of the world's total spending over the same period. In terms of air power, the United States also holds a significant advantage over China. The US Air Force is the largest and most technologically advanced air force in the world, with a fleet of high-performance aircraft, including stealth fighters like the F-22 Raptor and F-35 Lightning II. The US also has a global network of military bases and allies, allowing it to project air power anywhere in the world. China has been rapidly expanding and modernizing its air force in recent years, with the development of advanced aircraft like the J-20 stealth fighter. However, China still lags behind the United States in terms of overall air power capability. In a potential military conflict, the US Air Force would likely have air superiority over the Chinese Air Force, giving the US a significant advantage in any aerial combat. When it comes to ground forces, China holds a slight numerical advantage over the United States. China's People's Liberation Army is the largest standing army in the world, with over 2 million active duty troops. The Chinese army also has a vast array of tanks, artillery, and other ground-based weaponry at its disposal. The United States has 1,550 active nuclear warheads under treaty, but these are an aging arsenal with aging infrastructure. Some U.S. nuclear warheads are 50 years old. To keep pace, the Pentagon plans to spend $750 billion over the next decade to upgrade and replace nearly every part of the U.S. arsenal. China's infrastructure, on the other hand, is new and expanding. The Pentagon report assesses that China is expanding the number of its nuclear launch platforms to be able to launch warheads from land, sea, and air, while building more infrastructure to support the further expansion of its nuclear forces. Additionally, the United States believes China has completed construction of its ICBM silo fields, which contain at least 300 silos from which it could launch nuclear warheads. The United States also concludes that some of the silos are loaded with missiles. According to research by the Federation of American Scientists, the United States has 450 silos, 400 of which are loaded. The United States Army, while smaller in size, is considered the most technologically advanced and well-trained army in the world. U.S. Army soldiers undergo rigorous training and have access to cutting-edge equipment and weapons. In a potential ground conflict between the U.S. and China, the technological superiority and training of U.S. Army soldiers would likely give the United States the upper hand. China is testing and developing a range of weapons and tools capable of destroying, disabling, or hijacking satellites that the U.S. military relies heavily on to operate around the world, Defense Department officials and experts say. In recent years, China has rapidly closed the gap with the United States in space. Beijing is accelerating the pace of satellite launches and mastering capabilities that only the United States had a decade ago, experts say. According to the Defense Intelligence Agency, between 2019 and 2021, China doubled the number of satellites in orbit, from 250 to 499. In conclusion, the military comparison between the United States and China is a complex and multifaceted issue. While the United States holds a clear advantage in terms of technology, training, and overall military capability, China has been rapidly closing the gap in recent years. With tensions rising between these two global superpowers, it is crucial for both countries to carefully consider the implications of any potential military conflict. Thank you for tuning in to today's video. If you enjoyed this content, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more in-depth analysis on global military topics. Until next time, stay informed and stay safe.